Tell me about George Edward Griffin, because he becomes an important part of the film. I had actually never heard of him before, and he's kind of becomes a narrator throughout. Just tell me a little bit about him, and because he's the one that really breaks down communism in a way that I really haven't seen it done in a film before. And again, it took me a bit by surprise, and I found it very interesting.
Yeah, well, G. Edward Griffin is a man who wrote the book Creature from Jekyll Island about the Federal Reserve. He's well known for that. He's a scholar, an incredible educator. Now in his almost mid-90s and still rocking it. Runs something called the Red Pill Expo. Still educating people out there. Has an online university. And so during my wake-up process, as I started to really go deeper and to realize that we're never going to solve any of these issues if we keep putting band-aids on symptoms. And that's what we spend a lot of time doing. Ointment on symptoms, and then another lesion pops up over here, more ointment, and we just keep tending to these things until we get to the root and realize, like, what is the cause? What's causing these lesions on my body? What do I need to do emotionally or physically to actually prevent this from reoccurring? I went down this rabbit hole, and I, in the process, stumbled on a lot of people who have been giving these historic warnings since the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s of what was coming to America and what was going on. And very few people listened to them. And that's when I stumbled on G. Edward Griffin's work, and I watched one of his films. The first one I watched was called More Deadly Than War. And a lot of that, if not all of it, is online on YouTube that people can watch. I sat down and watched that, and I was just, originally I thought, well, I'll just use his work as a reference to drive my research deeper. But then as I continued to watch, he made these beautiful black and white movies. He explained to me, I was on the phone with him the other day, and he explained to me that he was speaking with rooms of 30, 40, 50 people, and he realized this is not going to do it. It's not, and then something was released, I forgot what it was. Some movie was released that he felt was total propaganda, and it reached so many people, some classic movie like Dinner with Andre or something he mentioned. And it reached so many people, he said, I need to start putting this stuff on film so it can be mass distributed. That's the only way it's going to make any difference whatsoever. And so he started making these beautiful black and white movies where he was basically sitting in his living room, very eloquent speaker, giving almost zero of his own opinion. He was simply reading from their manifestos, from their books, they being communist, saying, this is what we're going to do in America. We're going to divide the races. We're going to use black people as cannon fodder. We're going to convince the white people that they're helping black people. But all of this is, we're going to burn down the cities, and we're going to defund the police. We're going to create autonomous zones. Like, literally went through all these steps of what they're going to do. And when I watched this, I thought, why isn't this known by everyone? Like, this is happening right now. I could put side-by-side comparisons to every point he's making to illustrate that it's here. It's happening right now in America. And then I thought, well, maybe that's what I should do. So there's a lot of that in the movie where we side-by-side comparisons where we say, here we are, in 1950 with the same signs, the same people, ACLU pushing these people up front for what they thought were civil rights, and they're all being used. They're being used to do the same thing that the BLM people were used for in the last few years. Nothing has changed. It's the same game, but nobody has really opened their eyes to it thus far, or not enough people have. There's a lot of people who have, long before I did, but no one was listening to these people. And I have the ability to create movies that are seen by a lot of people. So let's honor this man's work. And so I ended up getting a hold of him to let him know my intentions, and he was just delighted. He was aware of the Plandemic series, and then he invited me to speak at his Red Pill Expo, and I didn't know how much of his original lectures were going to be. I didn't even know he had other lectures because they're not all online. And so he actually sent me all of his masters. So I'm the custodian of all of his legacy I have the master reels, and we had them retransferred, and I started looking at these. He's got like 4 of these movies that are 90 minutes long a piece, 3 or 4 of these movies. And then he's also the one, the famous interview with Yuri Bezmenov, the KGB defector, out of Russia. People always refer to this very insightful interview with Yuri Bezmenov. G. Edward Griffin is the person off camera interviewing him. So he's responsible for so much. It's dedicated his life to wake up the world to what's really happening. And so after I started to really dig into the full body of his work, I realized, I said, we have to honor this man for what he's done. And let's, instead of just plagiarizing his research and his body of work, let's give him the full credit he deserves. And as I said, I was on the phone with him 2 days ago. I just got a call from him, and I was waiting for the call because I thought, he hasn't really called me since the screening. I hope he likes the movie. And somebody said that he had said it's excellent. So I said, that's nice, but that's kind of brief, kind of vague. And he called me the other day, and it was really beautiful that he was just so delighted by the way that he was represented, and that, that he knows that he can leave this planet with his legacy reaching the people the way that he intended it to do when he made these films in the 1960s.
Wow. That's fantastic. What an incredible, backbone of the film to kind of stumble on and then meet him. And it's an important part of the structure of what you're saying. So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm going to tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone, also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline. I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. life all comes down to a few moments. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make?